Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is George Uman, and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about My Dress Up Darling chapter 108. So, what did I think about this week's chapter? Honestly, I love this week's chapter, and the main reason is because it was extremely wholesome, and it was just, it made my soul happy, man. Like, when you made my heart like beat 3 times faster just from the pure joy and pure happiness, you're doing a good job. And this chapter was just, overrun with cuteness between Gojo and Marin, and a lot of great moments between the two of them, and just them talking and just, being extremely wholesome, man. Like, that's pretty much how to say it. And I really like how this week's chapter also sets up what's to come in the future in a slight way that I will get into going forward. Now, before I go any further with this week's chapter, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all my anime and manga, as well as all my Dress Up Darling content that I'll be providing in this channel. It really helps out a lot, and I would really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you guys could, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into this week's chapter. So this week's chapter opens up where we left off pretty much last time, or the aftermath of last time, where we saw them kissing, and we see that they're both in the couch and getting pretty close to each other. And what I mean by pretty close to each other, I mean literally Marin is all hugging Gojo. And it's very cute, it's very wholesome. And I really like how, Marin now, she gets to be once again very happy and go lucky, because that had been hurting my soul, seeing her suffer and all that. But now that they both have confessed to each other, now there's no tension between the two of them. Now they're just very comfortable. At least Marin is, because Gojo's a little bit uncomfortable how close they are. Even though last chapter they were kissing and all that. But hey, man, do you, man, get your comfort levels up, because now you got Marin, and now you can do, you can hold hands, man. Like, whoa. But in all honesty, I thought that it was very wholesome just seeing their interaction, and how Gojo explains like about the non-situation to Marin, and the comic festival, why his face was like, all pissed and all that. And Marin's like, okay, well, thank you so much for explaining all this to me. And she's like, Marin, and then Gojo's like, you can continue, cosplaying and all that. It's not, don't think about it because I was jealous about the attention that you were getting. It's just, I can deal with it now that I know that you love me, so it's okay, go do your thing. And Marin, she does the thing, and that I myself have been predicting since like forever, where I saw a lot of people speculating, oh, is she gonna take the job offer about the cosplaying and all that. And I had been very vocal from the first time that whole plot thread got introduced, that Marin was never gonna take the job. And the main reason for that was because I knew that Marin wouldn't like that. She only does cosplaying because of Gojo, and she enjoys it because solely of Gojo. So if Gojo was out of the equation, she would never, even want to do it. And she pretty much confirms it in this week's chapter, which we see that Marin is just like, yeah, man, like, I got all that attention. It was cool, and it's not like I hated it and all that. But I realized, like, maybe like I'm not about the spotlight. I'm not here for that. I realized that the main reason I cosplay, and the only reason I would really cosplay, is because of the fun that I have with you. I realized what true happiness is. And we also see a panel where we see all her friends, like Shinju, Akira, and the rest of the crew. And I thought it was very cool because, Marin had just, from the get-go, she knew that, without Gojo, she was not going to cosplay. And like I said, I saw a lot of people saying, like, maybe she'll go pro and all that without Gojo. But I never once even thought of that, because I knew that from the get-go, Marin and Gojo, they're solidified. Like, the two of them are a team, and you take one of the equation out of the equation, the cosplaying is not going to be fun anymore, especially when it becomes a job, because that saying, like, once your hobby becomes your job, you start enjoying it as much because it's no longer a hobby, and now it's a requirement of you to do this set job. So I like how Marin really just threw that out of the window. She was like, nah, I wouldn't do that ever. And pretty much after that, she's just like, hey, Gojo. He's like, yeah. It's like, I love you. And I thought it was very cute, once again solidifying, how in love she is with him. And in return, as they're talking, Gojo's just like, oh man, I thought she was gonna kiss me. Because they kind of like stare at each other, and Gojo's like, oh man. And by the way, slight headcanon of mine, I think he wanted her. I think he definitely wanted a kiss. Just saying, man. Once you get one kiss, you can't stop getting, you can't get enough of them, right? But in reality, we see that pretty much after that, they start talking about the cosplayer, not the cosplayer, the guy that created the Haniel character, both the author as well as the guy that directed the anime or whatever, or live action, whatever it was, the guy that directed the anime adaptation, I believe. We see that pretty much Gojo fills her in. I'm like, yeah, everybody love your cosplayer. I think Marin fills in Gojo, or no, I think Gojo himself fills her on it, because Marin kind of has been like distant from social media and all that. And she's like, no, I haven't got a chance. And then she's looking at the comments, and you see the guy just says good job or good work. and everyone's like, oh my god, he said it to somebody, there's no way. And it was cool, you know, it was a big payoff. I know a lot of people were speculating that maybe the guy was going to be at the comic festival. It didn't come through, but it's fine. I mean, as long as he got the praise, you know, Gojo got the praise of, you know, that guy enjoying his cosplay, as well as, you know, Marin, you know, finally being like, oh wow, like freaking out about it. So that was really cool. And finally, you know, a big payoff to the Haniel arc. As well as after that, we see that pretty much, you know, Marin is like, hey Gojo, like, so like, you know, I got a quick question, like, which cosplay of mine is your favorite? And he's like, honestly, bro, like, and you see Gojo kind of thinking about it, and he's thinking very like focused, and he's like, you know what, I kind of like enjoy any outfit you wear, like, to be honest, like anything you wear, you're beautiful, and like it enchanted me from like back then. And Marin just like freaks out, is like, what, like no way. And she's like, why didn't you say it any sooner, man, like come on. And you see that pretty much yeah, like he's just freaking out about the whole situation. And I think it was a smart move also in Fukuda's part, because like, you know, then we get the fandom to be like, oh no shit, confirm Gojo's favorite cosplay is this. It's like, nah, I think that he loves each of them equally as much as the other. So I think is, you know, I think let's just be fair, okay? Every Marin cosplay has slain, okay? Can we agree on all that? Let's not have a fight in the comment section about which cosplay is better. They're all slaying, okay? They're all 11 out of 10s. All right. Now, moving on, we see that Marin starts telling Gojo, like, you know, like, hey, Gojo, tell me the thing that you told me back then. Like, hey, the beautiful. I know that only means, like, the world to you when you say it, so I want to hear you say it. And it's this very, like, funny scene / very sweet, where we see just Gojo kind of like, oh, I gotta say it, huh? And you see he's kind of, like, getting red, and Marin's, like, very excited about it, like, come on, do it. And then Gojo's just like, you're beautiful, I love you. And he just says like, I love you. And Marin, like, you know, freaks out, and she's all happy, and like her big smile. It was just very wholesome. And the funniest part was Gojo just like putting his face on his hand, like oh man, like and it's funny, like it's very realistic. You know, he would be shy about this whole situation. You know, he just opened his feelings up. Last chapter he was like, you know, like he went on his giga chat mode, you know, where he was just like, I gotta say it, man. And he was like very stoic about it. And not stoic in the sense of an evil thing, but it was more like, you know, the confidence and, you know, him being like, okay, I'm gonna say it, I love you. But now that he, you know, realizes that Marin loves him back, is more like, oh man, like I can't believe it. He's still new to the whole situation. I think it's very wholesome and very like cute overall. You know, I always think Gojo's a giga chat, and you know, definitely Marin is a very social butterfly. So it's really cool, you know, that, you know, Gojo's, thanks to her, you know, he's developed this much into the story, you know, 108 chapters. He's developed so much from where he started to where he is now. And I just can't wait, man. I can't wait to see where the two of them go. But we do know that they're obviously still going to cosplay, because a lot of people saying like, oh, the series is going to end, all that. Nah, man, like I think we still got plenty of story to tell, and you know, like they can just keep going, man. As long as they keep cosplaying, you know, the story can never end. For all we know, what, 400 chapters? I'll read it all, man. Give it to me, Fukuda, give it to me. But in all reality, I love this week's chapter just because it was so wholesome, and it was just, you know, a lot of people had been complaining like for a while. A lot of people that dropped the series, they were like, oh, it's too depressing, it's too sad. But guess what, man? We're back to the wholesomeness, that we're back to the cutesy fun stuff, and you know, I'm eating all that up, man. I love this. I finally seen Marin and Gojo's relationship, you know, come up to this moment after all the build-up. It's great payoff, and I can't wait to see just going forward now when they start becoming boyfriend and girlfriend, because remember guys, they're still not boyfriend and girlfriend officially, at least that we know of. You know, they might have confessed to each other, and I think it'll be funny if somebody like asks, one of Marin's friends is like, so are you guys like boyfriend and girlfriend? It's like, oh, and then Marin's like, oh, you know what, I'll get back to you on that. And maybe that's an arc where Gojo, like, you know, makes Marin like his girlfriend, where he has to like ask her and, you know, builds himself up, like his self-esteem even more, to be like, yeah, be my girlfriend. And she's like, of course. But this is a headcanon, and I can't wait to see pretty much where the story goes from here. Now, with all that being said, what did you guys think about this week's chapter? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys thought it was all right? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more My Dress Up Darling, as well as more anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.